Hey, everybody, welcome into the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena, our show about all things Marvel here on the Arena Productions. And this week we're talking about the season finale of She Hulk, our breakdown and discussion of season one. So, She Hulk is now in the books, guys. And yeah, we're going to talk about that. But first, before we get into it, I just want to let everybody know that we're going to be talking tons of spoilers here about the season of She Hulk. So, if you have not watched She Hulk yet, or if you've not watched the final episode, please go and watch that episode and the other episodes before watching this video, this breakdown and discussion of the season one finale and all of the season of She-Hulk. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So, what did you think of the season overall? Let's go ahead and start with that question. Honestly, I thought the first few episodes of finding out how she becomes She-Hulk, and of course the back and forth with her and Bruce, and Bruce trying to train her, and then Bruce actually finding out that she can actually change back to her original form so easily. I thought that was really cool. The middle episodes, though, when it became this like kind of like Ally McBealish style legal drama comedy, there were some aspects to it that I didn't care for so much, but then it picked up again towards the end of the season. I really enjoyed, especially with, we're going to talk about this later, obviously, with Charlie Cox coming back as Daredevil. I thought that was really awesome. And I thought it was a strong ending to the season. So that was my opinion. What about your guys? Carl, I'll start with you. What did you think of the season overall?
Yeah, overall, I thought it was pretty solid. Um, yeah, there's ups and downs. I mean, I enjoyed all the episodes. I mean, varying degrees, but like I like what they're going for with the concept. I think it's fresh, it's different. It's not just a regular superhero show.
Mhm.
And we need that. We shouldn't have everything be the same. And that's exactly said in this episode. Uh,
Mhm.
we'll talk about. Oh, sorry, in the finale episode, right? Like,
Yeah.
I like what they're hitting home with all of these truths. Sort of about superhero movies, the genre in general,
Right.
right?
Right.
And is I don't think that the writing was great all the time, right? Like the jokes didn't always work for me,
Mhm.
um, but the ideas were all good, and I think maybe in a second season, you may punch it up a little bit, get those jokes a little bit more on point, and the story is a little bit, just a little bit spicier, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Burley, what did you think overall of the season?
This show was not for me. Um, I'm gonna just say it like this was not a show I enjoyed. I had moments that I liked. The first couple episodes, not too bad. In the middle, the one episode with Wong with the one drunk patron. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember her name. I really enjoyed that, and
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
is it
obviously
Jet?
Yeah.
the stuff with Charlie Cox for that one episode. Really enjoyed, and that renewed my interest. And then I had problems with the finale.
Okay.
This is a show like I get it if you're a fan,
Right.
I can see, but just not for me. This is a show I kind of hope we don't get a season two. Is
Okay.
not interested.
Okay, so let's go through some of these characters and what were your thoughts about them. Of course, Jennifer's, okay, of course, her partner at the law firm there, her assistant, her legal assistant. What did you feel about her overall?
Well, okay, go ahead.
Uh, she was fine overall.
Mm-hmm.
She she was fine, but I think they said she was a paralegal actually. A
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
paralegal, not a
paralegal.
legal
Okay,
assistant.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I like her. She didn't have what was the episode like? She really had sort of her moment. I'm trying to think. It was the one where with the talking to the guy who makes the costumes
Right.
maybe
Right.
I feel like in that one, but she has a couple moments
Yeah.
like throughout the show. I think she needed a bit more at times, but I do like her. Like I do want to see her get a little more depth. Maybe they didn't really go too much into her character.
I
How
agree
about
with you on that.
How about this
Yeah.
character here in the image here? Her, of course, Jennifer's other, lawyer uh, partner.
Co-
Yes.
Colleague.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
colleague. Yes. How'd you feel
Yeah,
about
she's one of
her?
the other lawyers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought she was a strong character in a sense, and she almost had to play defense attorney a couple of times for Jennifer and for She-Hulk, but yeah, I
She
thought overall that she was kind of in it for herself in a way, but she was loyal to the firm as well. What'd you guys think?
I liked her. She was actually I would say on this show she's probably the best representation of a lawyer.
Okay,
And I I've worked for lawyers for 5 years, so I know a little bit. She did a really good job.
okay,
Yeah, she's definitely the most like straight lawyer type character, which you need one of those for sure in a show like this, of course.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's a smaller supporting role, but she did good. I liked it.
How about Titania?
Titania is one where I'm like, I like her. I just I don't know enough about her. Like every time she pops up, like I like the rivalry they're building, but again, like I don't know how she came to be, and I need that to really sort of care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want more. I want them to give us like purpose to this character, other than just being that rival that they're building. Like,
Yeah,
what's her deal?
the social media stints and everything as well.
Yeah, because that stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
It works, but like again, like where does that come from? You know?
Right, right. Burley, what did you think of Titania?
I thought she was okay. Like they
Uh-huh.
could have, like Carl said, they could have given us more.
Mm-hmm.
This is a character I would have liked to see them do more with. Explain why there's the rivalry more.
Mm-hmm.
Give us maybe some backstory.
Yeah.
Give us anything, because that's the thing. Like you get her at the beginning of the season, and then she comes back for another episode.
Yeah, she
for
pops
her
up in several episodes actually.
Yeah, she just pops up, and it's like little mini stories, but you get a bit, but you don't get enough.
Yeah.
So it was like
Yeah.
it kind of, to me, if you're not gonna fully do the character,
Mhm.
it's kind of a disservice and kind of a waste, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a miss to not explain like how she has powers.
Yeah.
I mean, why was she busting into the lawyer the courtroom in the first episode? I have no idea.
We have no
You know?
explanation.
Yeah,
Well,
they
here you
never
go,
gave us
Burley.
that.
Here's your image here of her.
Madison, yes.
Madison. That's
Madison.
right, Madison. Yeah.
But I did like
Madison. Yeah.
I did like the wedding episode where when she shows up, she's like, "Ah, you're here too." She's like, "Yeah, I was invited by so and so's thing." I'm like, "Ah," and then they had this like sort of like wedding rivalry, and they had that fight. I like that. I enjoyed that.
Right.
I had fun with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Next up, of course, Blonsky, aka the Abomination. Yeah, of course. And this is from the final episode here. But what did you think of Blonsky's character overall, being the spiritual healer type of character in this show?
Tim Roth does a great job as always. Tim Roth is always a great actor.
Uh-huh.
So I liked him as this, and I think he did pull it off well as the whole spiritual advisor and trying to, be all that. And, his conversations like within later in the season when Jen visits him at his, not compound, but community thing.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's a good bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say overall, like at the end of it, I'm just like, wow. I mean, like kind of ended it. So I'm like, wow, that sucks, because it's a significant turn for when we last saw him back in the Hulk movie. So like, to them to just kind of like, no, I was kind of using this thing to make money, and which I get, I don't know. I'm not sure how. Like he seems like he's going to continue on somewhere, but
Yeah.
will they continue on that sort of bit with him? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of the tailor? He was kind of interesting, I thought. Yeah. I mean, making Daredevil's costume, making, the of course the outfit for for She-Hulk for the gala. Uh, how'd you guys feel about the
I
tailor?
love the concept of this type of character. It's incredible. It's like
Yeah.
what was the name of that? Edna, maybe, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no.
know, yeah. It's that type of idea and character. He doesn't have a lot. He's fine. I mean, the episode with Daredevil when he's in it and he gets kidnapped, like he had some good moments.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
He like Carl said, he was all right, but he's no Edna. Edna has way better personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How about the parents? I mean, yeah, they seemed. I mean, you didn't see much of them, but you got a few moments with them, and I like the ending there when they're talking with with Matt Murdock. So, but yeah, I mean, they seemed very supportive. I mean, in the bits and pieces of the season that they were in. So, how'd you guys feel about the parents?
And they're just parents. They're just extra characters.
Okay.
I get why they were there, but like whatever. I don't really care.
The parents, the mom was okay. The dad, I actually like the dad.
Uh-huh.
I think the dad, they put a little bit more into the dad with all the extra, like, the one, I think it was the one post credit scene in episode like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But like I like the dad. I thought he
Okay.
did a good job.
Okay. All right. Next up, the frog. I call him the Frogger guy because, of course, in the episode they had the arcade Frogger. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he was a piece of work, man.
Yeah, he was silly, but I enjoyed it. I like.
So yeah, I mean, he falls out and I think he like breaks both of his legs there. Yeah, so, in that one episode.
Something like that. Like he was like naming his people like frog themed stuff, and his lair was like what was it called? Forgot. It had like the big neon too.
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
The character was fine, and you get your little chuckles at, but this showed one of the weaknesses in the show to me is when she goes to court with this guy, she didn't really had interviewed, got all the information from her client.
Yeah, because the guy's father was like a big client.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But if you're going to court and you're going to court, you get everything from your client. You grill your client beforehand to make sure they don't do outbursts in court and stuff like that.
Right.
Because you're trying to protect that, especially with a very important client like that.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just like, this just shows like it pretty much showed like, oh, I had one conversation in less than 5 minutes and did this. Is like, I'm sorry, like if that's how it was, like the writing on this was just horrible.
Okay. Right.
No, I mean I do agree. Like that did not seem realistic at all. Like when that happened, I was like, come on, like you should know a little. Like you could maybe justify like for some reason she didn't get that information out of him, but like it did seem like she didn't really know anything.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to Daredevil, Charlie Cox, of course, Matt Murdock coming back. Obviously, the last time we saw him was in Spider-Man: No Way Home. But yeah, he's back. And obviously on the internet and everything, there was the people upset, the Netflix Daredevil fan base that were upset at the fact that he's too much of a comic in these episodes and all. But I really loved it. I mean, I just loved his sense of humor and how he got along with Jen. And obviously they got pretty serious later on. But I mean, just the chemistry between them was awesome, and I just love that the back and forth banter between the two of them, in especially the final, the episode previous to the final episode. I thought it was amazing. his performance, and I'm just glad he's back. And we have the traditional Daredevil costume from like the comics here, and it's funny how Jen was calling it mustard and ketchup, type of
Yeah.
and anyway, and then he's saying, I'm going to tell the tailor that no, So, I really liked how they used Charlie Cox as Daredevil and his character in this series. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything. I think their chemistry was great. Their back and forth, the dialogue is really good. The action sequence of them are really good. That line. I like the line where like she's like he's explaining to her like no, he's the bad guy, and she's like, "Wait, I was supposed to know that the guy in the devil costume is the good guy."
Yeah. Burley, how about you?
I like this version of bringing them back. We don't always need the dark, gritty. We don't need the Frank Miller version every freaking time, because that's the thing. Like, people obsess. That's the only version of Daredevil is the Frank Miller, and it's like, no. I like that version, but no. So Charlie Cox did great, son. I really enjoyed the portrayal here, and I'm hoping when we do get the new show that we get a bit of this in there, and it's not just the dark, gritty stuff.
Yeah. It's to see him happy that it definitely seems like a Daredevil who's like had his experiences, right, and he's in a good place. It's like why is it? Because why would he be if he goes through all of his issues, and he's still like miserable or dour all the time? Yeah, that wouldn't be great. Wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like we have to assume at this point that the Netflix shows isn't necessarily like full canon, but it's going to be probably implied that like some stuff to that effect happened previously in his life.
Yeah. Okay, so how about this guy on the right here in this image? Yeah, this is jerk. I couldn't stand that guy. I mean, throughout the series, and he's like that text, during when he's talking to, I think it was when Jennifer was talking to Matt Murdock, and then she's like, I think she gets a text message then or something like that, or I forget exactly when it was, but he's like, I thought that this firm was like a 24/7 thing. I could check with your boss to make sure that, that's true or not. I couldn't stand that guy. But I mean, I kind of figured that he was probably one of the, going to be one of the main villains towards the end of the show. When they showed the scene where, Jen had some of her blood taken and everything. I thought probably he was one of the major culprits involved in that. So. Yeah. What'd you guys think?
Todd, that was just such a I get it. It's for the character they're going for, but it's just like put your head in your hands there. It's just so bad. Like, and just like all the stupid lines and all that was said by him, and I was like, I get it. It's for that character, but it's just like. Yeah. Give me a villain I actually care about, or that is somewhat compelling, or if they're evil and all this, give me something like, okay, they're evil like this. Cool. I like it, but this is just character was boring to me. Boring and stupid.
He's very on the nose, obvious. Like, he's obviously not a good guy, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it doesn't work, but I would say that the way the finale goes, like, I see what they're going for, and the payoff of that being like, he was obviously the bad guy, and that's bad. Like, that was what they're sort of implying. Like, that's not good writing. That this is the very obvious bad guy. Like, is what he does. We'll talk about it as we get to the end.
Yeah, we got the image here of him. The image here of him, obviously, taking the blood and everything, and
I'm just laughing. Look at it. This is funny.
So basically now we're gonna stick to the final episode and everything, and it's funny how like Jen, and as She-Hulk and everything, it's like nope, we can't have this episode end like this, and it's of course, and then she of course goes to goes to the studios there to meet with good old Kevin, Kevin Feige, and smashes her way through, beats up a bunch of the guards and everything, and then she gets in there with the robot Kevin, and so it's able to obviously change the outcomes of the episode that had taken place already, made different changes to it, and then she's kind of like making fun of the MCU and how things work out in the MCU and everything. I thought that was pretty interesting. So what did you guys think of these sequences there?
Burley, do you wanna
Go ahead, Burley, you go
give
first.
us
Yeah,
that
I'll
opinion
go.
first?
Yeah, going into the writer's room, it was like, okay, this could be okay, and then they just went on and on with it. It's just like this because this final episode was like 27 minutes or something like that. They spend like 7 to 10 minutes on that, and it was like, why are we just wasting time with this? Like, I get it, and it's she does break the fourth wall a lot in the comics and all that, and this is a thing she's done, but it's just it was long, drawn out, and then the writers are poking fun at all this the bad writing earlier in the episodes. And it's like, yeah, that's neat in concept, but how about you write things well, and then you have maybe what you can have one or two bad writing moments and make points at that. But if you're gonna make jokes and stuff about your bad writing, look at your bad writing throughout the whole season, in my opinion. But the reveal with Kevin being a robot and not actually being Kevin Feige, there, I will give them credit. I did like that. I got a little chuckle out of that. And then him going and telling her, like, save it for the movies to be transformed into She-Hulk. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you? My wife pointed out. She was like, "Does Kevin Feige wear a hat all the time?" I was like, "You should like because the robot has like a brim, like he's wearing
the
a hat."
brim,
I was
like the hat. Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah,
I think he
I'm
does.
Like, he does.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah. Well, in public, yeah, I think he does.
Right. And when she asked me that, I was like, "Yes, he always does." I'm like, "Why do you say that?" And then she pointed that out. I didn't even pick up on that. She got that, so that was cool.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you guys is, as you see from here in the image, save it for the movie. Do you think that is a tease that we are going to get, or She-Hulk is going to appear in one of the upcoming Marvel movies, or are they going to make a specific Marvel movie for She-Hulk?
Well, I didn't. Let me talk about my thoughts on this first.
Sure, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
So, like, for me, this was the ending, right? Like, the reason they spent so much time on it because this is the finale, right? This is what they were doing, right, for the finale. The other part isn't really the ending, right? This is the ending. This is what was the big thing about it. Mm-hmm. And like you say, like it was bad writing, but like that was the point. Was like, how do we end this? Like, where do we go with this? Here's a bad ending, right? This is a stupid ending. So it's like, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna inject myself with the blood and I'm gonna become the Hulk. And she's like, are we really doing this? Like, why? What are we talking about here? Like, and like, I'm like, yeah, it's it. Like, this is every super. Like, what I love is like where you said that, like, okay, this is going on too long. And I'm like, I felt that for a second, but then I was like, no, wait, because they are hitting on all the points of like superhero tropes, like superhero movies doing the same thing all the time, pointing out flaws in even more MCU stuff, right? Yeah. Pointing out flaws in like or reasons for like budgetary restraints and things like that, like that's what sold it for me as being good. Like, once they got into all of that, I was like, oh no, this is real. I thought this was really awesome because, like, even pointing out things like he's like, okay, I need you to change back because this is getting expensive. And he's like, oh, and oh, wait, can you do it off screen? Right? Because like, we can't have that right now. We need to save some money here. So stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, like I love that stuff because like when you think about like how these are made, like that's what this was getting into. Like, this is getting into the the cooks in the kitchen stuff, right? Like her going in there and like mucking it up. Just like, it's like, what are you guys doing to my show? You're writing me a terrible ending. I don't like this. Like, get it back. I love the line where she says, she says, I smash fourth walls and bad endings and sometimes Matt Murdock. I was like, oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
It's real good. So like there's a lot of great stuff in there that's and getting to your point, your question about even the like are they alluding to sequel stuff? Like I love with them saying like, you know, she's like, oh, am I gonna be in the movie? He's like, no, I don't think you're gonna be no, sorry. She's like, what the hell? You know, but like when they talk about Hulk, he's like, are we like what do we need to like why is Hulk coming back to save the day? Like that doesn't make any sense. And again, that's pointing out like that happens in a lot of superhero movies. Like somebody comes back to save the day. And it's a trope in a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Like someone who comes back like randomly to save the day. And like, why are you doing that? That's not really important anymore. And she's like, yeah, get that out of here. And he's like, okay, just we'll save that for the movie. Explain like where he was, you know, why.
Yeah.
And you know, saying like he's like, all right, you know, I guess in season 2 we'll do this or whatever. Like, and those comments that they say, and I'm like, yeah, they're talking about that stuff. I think we're gonna get season 2, and I think we're gonna get a Hulk movie. And very obviously by the post credits we'll talk about like,
yeah,
pretty sure that's gonna be all explained in the Hulk.
Yeah, it's good. Just one little pet peeve I had about the season. I mean, I thought it was okay, but I mean, the kind of the Ferris Bueller type of you know, references and the Ferris Bueller type of way of doing the show for Jen, you know, actually looking directly at the screen and looking at the viewers and all. You know, I thought that was okay, but I thought they kind of overdid it just a little bit. But that was a pet peeve of mine there. But
I would say
mm-hmm.
maybe what you're picking up on is it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because I think they could have done it more, right? It didn't feel like okay, every episode has its like moment of her breaking the fourth wall, right? It just felt like, oh, it's gonna happen here, and then eventually it'll happen in here, and then maybe it'll pop up here. So like that can definitely be done a little bit better. Like I like those moments. It just needs to be like Deadpool. Like Deadpool was very like consistent in how often he did it and when he did it and why and what he would say, those type of things.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the endings, obviously. Well, first let's talk about of course, you know, Banner comes back, you know, and they're having their little, you know, they're having the lunch outside and all, and you know, they're grilling Matt Murdock, you know, and you know, in a fun way. But and then of course Hulk shows up, of course, and he's got his son with him. So we see him for the first time there. So that was a surprise. And then obviously at the end here we get Wong, and of course he gets Blonsky out again and takes him to Comertage. Yeah, and that's the end of it. You know, what did you guys think? Burley?
Hulk's son, them bringing Scar into the MCU, he looked horrible. I must say, like the CG for that looked bad. Like, yeah, like I know they're weird with what they want to do with Hulk because they couldn't do Planet Hulk, and it's like they're trying, like they've cast it. It's been official now. Harrison Ford is cast as the new Thunderbolt Ross. So you know they're wanting to do something with Hulk.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna be Hulk related because I mean it makes sense, right? But like if you're gonna do the Red Hulk thing, like, you know, Harrison Ford, he's too old for that. Like, I don't. I mean, not like he has to be doing a lot because it's CG, but like still, you know, it seems weird that they would. But maybe you never know. But I do like I mean I don't think there's anything wrong with the CG of Scar. I think look like a guy. I don't know who the actor is. Look like a person. The weird thing was the hair. He had that like weird shave, like half up shave, and like you know. But I like that they're doing that. They're sort of. I guess the implication is that like maybe that happened back in Thor Ragnarok. Maybe you know, right?
Yeah,
and that's what they were trying to get to him, like something with your son, something's going on, you got to come back, and you know, and now he's, you know, they'll explain all that in a movie. You know?
Yeah. So overall, where would you rate this among the Disney Plus Marvel shows that have come out so far?
do you want to go?
To me, I still think, just me personally, I still think Falcon and Winter Soldier is the best of the group so far, followed by Loki. I would probably rate this maybe kind of in the lower middle part, I guess. I don't know, but I still enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it, and I don't know if they're going to do a season 2 yet, but it hasn't been confirmed. But we shall see.
For me, it's the worst one. This is the one I have not really enjoyed. Like, there are moments I've enjoyed, but overall, I have not enjoyed this. This is not a show I'm going to come back to. So this was the worst one. Whereas like Winter Soldier and Falcon, really enjoyed that. Probably my favorite. Loki and What If, I will go back to. I'll even go back to Hawkeye, Moon Knight.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much though. I'll almost bet everything on this. We're probably going to see Jennifer Walters and as She-Hulk again in the Daredevil series. She's going to come to Hell's Kitchen and help out in some way.
It's possible.
Yeah,
there'll be a cameo. I don't
obviously.
I don't know how much she'll be in it.
It'll probably be like this series, like 1 or 2 episodes or something. But maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I think we're getting season 2. I think it'll happen. I mean, I guess it's expensive. So like, if it doesn't happen, maybe it's because it's expensive, right? But to do that effect, but they already have the character model now. Like, that's kind of the thing with like the reason Hulk looks so good. They're able to do that is because they built that character model over a decade of making that what it is. So like they can use that again and like have that technology. So
Carl, before you go on, I just want to mention, we haven't mentioned this yet in the last episode. What did you think of that little deal at the beginning of the episode about the Lou Ferrigno Hulk?
Oh,
yeah,
that was great.
That was pretty cool, yeah. And how they made her look like Lou Ferrigno there is.
They had like a really big woman, I assume. I don't know. I assume. I don't know.
It was pretty good, yeah. Little blast from the past there, yeah.
Where do I rank this? I mean, I don't like Miss Marvel or Hawkeye very much. I don't think they're very good shows. Like they have their moments here and there. Hawkeye more so than Miss Marvel as an overall. I kind of put this somewhere, I guess, in the mix. I like all the other ones. I like Loki and WandaVision and Falcon, Winter Soldier and Moon Knight. And this all kind of like in the same range. Like, I don't really say I have one that's like really stands out above all the others because I enjoyed all of those shows. So it's just those 2 that I'm like not. I didn't think those were good at all. Or as far as like overall storytelling.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to do it for our breakdown and discussion of the first season of She-Hulk. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley and Carl. We hope to catch you in the next Marvel series that we do here on the Arena Productions. So it's going to be coming up soon. Obviously, we have Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever coming up. We'll be doing, obviously, a discussion on that when the film comes out. So we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, we've got more Disney Plus Marvel series on the way into 2023. So we're looking forward to bringing you breakdown and discussion episodes of those as well. So until then, take care, everyone. Peace out.
Smash that fourth wall.